What up, everybody? What is going on? Hope you guys are well out there. You know what? This beautiful queen that I am about to intro is a little different from the other guests that I've had on the show. One is because we are actually friends. This is like my sister from another mister. And I have watched her journey, watched her grow, even though we have lived our separate ways. As far as was on the West Coast, she stays South, but she's from East Coast, and she has made an amazing life for herself, and it has just made me feel so good to see this. And so I want to give her an applause before she even come on first, okay? All right. So with this show is going to be a little different. I know you guys are used to like me bringing somebody up from the media industry or something like that, but I wanted to show a different side of lights camera action by balancing this show and bringing someone that has focused life skill goals, like I think she's like a focused goal coach that actually helps people with making sure that they are able to succeed and continue to stay on their journey and path. And sometimes that's very hard. It's even hard for me. It's really hard for a lot of people, especially in our community. And I wanted to kind of hear more about that. But she's done so many incredible things, being in the music business, media industry, all of that. But this right here is one of the most important things that I feel that she could ever do besides being a beautiful wife and mother. So I wanted to highlight this because this is something important, and it does still have to do with mental health. But I'm not going to say that she does that. I'm just saying all of that coincides. So without further ado, because I know that was long, but I'm sorry, she just deserved that intro. Mrs. Rashidah Jones in the building. Hey, one more applause, one more applause, one more applause.
I'm so excited to be here. Hey, big sis.
Hey, Queen. I am excited. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I had just like this I got long-winded, because it was so much that I wanted to share with the audience about what you do. But I did want to focus on your journey as a focused goal coach and community activist and different things like that, because I think that right now that's the space and place you're in. I know, which all coincides with your activism and your social work. So that's what we're going to be discussing. Okay.
That's
So, okay. Cause I know you got the media background. You done,
you
you done,
are funny because you say
no,
that it did not start with you.
this all about you.
I
You,
understand, but I feel like foundation is very important to probably everything we're about to talk about, right? How I got to where I am, that looks like.
we
But
not gonna talk about me at all.
well,
We talking
so
about you, but I
okay, well,
appreciate
I'll try to
you
reframe
so
it,
humble.
and all of those things.
You
But I'm
know,
grateful.
you already made me cry one time, so let's leave it alone, okay? Okay, guys, yes, I was the big sister, the mentor to her when she was starting off in her journey, and that's all that need to be said, okay? So she is the woman, though. She has brushed shoulders with some of the best of them. You understand? But that's another conversation for another day. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I have your because this is a little different from what I usually do with the films and music. I have your website pulled up.
Okay.
So for the real talk segment, we'll discuss some of your websites so that people can kind of get more clarity as to what it is that you do, or you can talk about how they can reach you, which the ticker will be, your information will be in the ticker. Matter of fact, I will do that now. So guys, this is her information down in the ticker. That's her website, her Instagram page, her Facebook page. And so now you have that information. You'll also see some of her website later during the real talk segment. But right now, we're just going to get to know Mrs. Rashidah Jones. So, who is Rashidah? You know where I got this from, right? Your website.
That is so funny. That's hilarious. So I'm a lot of things, but I really pride myself in being a great mom, an amazing wife, an awesome sister,
Love
uh,
it.
a beautiful daughter, and those things are really like the foundation. Um, Inside of all of that, I am a social worker. I'm a licensed master social worker, a professional certified coach, and a professional scrum master. And I really use all of those skills to build really dope programs, events, tools for clients, other social workers, and really create opportunities for individuals, communities, and organizations that may not have been there before or may not have had the right person to be able to execute it or put it together. So a lot of my work is really centered on workforce development, working with youth, young adults, those who are starting over in their career, those who trying to figure it out, people who look like me, and just those who see what I do as valuable to them in the spaces that I'm in.
That's awesome. Awesome. Actually, that was a good segue because the first question
Uh,
is, can you introduce yourself? Pretty much you did, and tell us what led you into social work and community activism.
yeah, so if I'm 100% honest, social work was not a field that I chose at all. Like that's just what it is. So I started out in media,
Yes.
networking. I started out working on street teams. Particularly one street team really paved the way for my start in the media industry. I was working with Nessa.
Queens on the scene. Shout out
We
to all the queens on the
ride
scene,
forever.
women.
We forever on the scene. We ride forever. And that really introduced me to a world that I was not experiencing. I was new to Atlanta. If you are from here or if you're not from here, in order to really get in here, you have to have relationships,
Hmm.
you have to have experience, and you have to have the right attitude and be able to show up in the right places at the right times. And so my work in social work really started out in radio. I was working in radio and I found myself creating programs and events that, yeah, they had a celebrity, undertone, or they were about a particular celebrity or for, maybe a particular celebrity or a brand, but I found myself really creating events and programs that were helping the community in other ways outside of just entertainment. And so that was my step into social work. I was still not a social worker. I worked in radio for about 10 years. And even in that space, I was not even considering social work. What I was considering my next journey after radio was going into the nonprofit sector and working in the nonprofit space, utilizing those skills I learned in media, learned on street teams to elevate and advance organizations that were doing work in the community space. And so working in nonprofit is what really exposed me to some amazing social workers who were doing what I call social work differently. They weren't doing what I considered traditional take your kids social work. Social workers, I had came in contact with growing up, I had just bad experience with, whether it was school social workers or watching like movies like Claudine and seeing, how,
Mm,
social workers were portrayed in those, movies. And so for me,
mm-hmm,
I didn't have a good perspective on what the field or what the profession looked like. And so I did not want to be a social worker. But when I met these social workers who were doing just things outside of the traditional social work scope, I found a space for myself and a path that I could call social work. And so I like to think I created my own lane in social work. I've never wanted to be the social worker who was working, like in a DFACS, space, or, doing school social work. Not to say those aren't great professions, and those social workers who work in those spaces, like, I give it up to you.
mm-hmm.
I just knew that my calling was coming from a different space, and it was led by me having a strong foundation in media, marketing, promotions, and working to build events and programs.
Amazing. Let me give you, okay. So here we give intense applauses when it's a mic drop. And honestly, I feel like that definitely,
You.
yes, absolutely. I love that. That's amazing. And you always was that type of person that you were going to go into your own lane and do your own thing and still come out twice as effective as the next person. And I love that about you. And that's exactly how, geniuses are. You see what I'm saying? So I love that. That's important. Okay. So let's see. The next question would be what moment in your life made you realize your purpose was to serve and uplift others? Like you did talk about, you went into the lane of social work even though you felt like it wasn't you were still in the and doing promotions in media and different things like that. But when in your spirit did you say, okay, this is my calling and I'm very passionate about it? What moment was that?
Yeah. So it was a very defining moment. It was most definitely the moment when I met Bobby Tillman's mom, Miss Monique. Um,
Hmm.
so Bobby Tillman was a young man from Douglasville who was murdered,
Hmm.
um, tragically, like no reason for his death. And I met his mom at the radio station. She had come up to do an interview on air, and we ran into each other literally in the hallway. But I knew who she was like the instant I saw her because she had been all over the news. And it was conversations with her that day and really wanting to do something that was bigger than the radio, bigger than anything I had ever done, but more importantly, something that could honor her son, honor the pain that she was going through, and more importantly, try to make a change. Um, and so it was that moment that I was like, yeah, this platform can do some really bigger
Hmm.
things. And that changed the trajectory of how I saw the work, how I saw the impact, and what I saw was possible and what I
Hmm.
was able to do, and how I was able to put things together and coordinate and just be very intentional with, putting together a tour and being able to, reach as many young people as we were able to do with that particular initiative. But it was most definitely that moment, me and Miss Monique, us crying and hugging, and just really seeing like, okay, there's a opportunity that's bigger than you to do greater good, right? Something that's really greater than yourself. That
Yes. Mm.
Yeah, and so yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. Okay. You've created programs that help people with life skills. What are some of the most critical life skills people are lacking today? Do you,
Um, that's a great question because I don't think it's one thing. um, and I think different types of people, different age groups, different, depending on where you are in life, you
Mm-hmm.
may lack a particular skill that you need right now. Um, One thing that I think is extremely important is the ability to just make a choice, right? I think sometimes just choosing is the hardest thing you can do. And I know that's not necessarily uh critical life skill that someone may think about, like, oh, knowing how to read, or right, knowing how to balance your bank account, right? Those are critical life skills. But I also think being able to choose something that is going to serve you, and
Mm-hmm.
doing it in such a fearless way that you may not have it all figured out when you are making the choice to do it, but you are confident enough in yourself that you still gonna make the choice to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So just what I find in a lot of the young people or clients that I work with, that it really starts with the choice, right? Whether that's making the choice to, come to the program, or to, show up on time, or to change how you have to dress, maybe for a particular, opportunity, or, whatever that looks like. But I think choice, because right now we got a lot of barriers, and so you got to pick and choose, right, what is necessarily important right now, and that right now thing may not be the thing that you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
um, but you're choosing it because it's out of a critical need, versus like, this is my life purpose, right? I can't choose this because this is what I have to choose in this moment. And so I think both can happen, and I know that's a difficult thing to say when you have barriers and other things happening. Um, but there's power in, like, making a choice that's gonna serve who you want to be, versus maybe who you are right now.
Mm. That's a bar. Okay. All right. I love it. So, can you share a success story from someone whose life was transformed through your work?
Oh wow. Um, I can. I have actually a fairly recent one. So I have a coaching client
Mm-hmm.
um who reached out for coaching for, and this client is okay with me sharing this story, right?
Okay.
So there's that note. I won't share his name, just
Okay.
out of respect, because we didn't talk about me today sharing, but he's okay with me sharing this story in general. But I do have a coaching client who reached out for coaching for career development. He was looking to get into a new career, and he needed some coaching around that. But what came up in the coaching as we were coaching was that he was also becoming a new parent. He was going through an adoption process. This is something that came out the blue, and we ended up doing a lot of coaching around that. That's like the foundation of the story. And so,
Mm.
long story short, our coaching developed to the point where we end up coaching through how to become a homeowner. He is now closing on, his first home. His son is two, going on two. No, he is older than two. L is 3, and he is a director at, an amazing organization. And so for me, that's a success story, because this person um applauds the coaching all the time. Like, he reminds me of, like, the experience that he had in coaching and how it was impactful to him, and being able to witness not only him go from single man to full-fledged single dad homeowner, over the course of these years, has been extremely rewarding, because he was
Mm.
also a client that was with me during the start of my coaching journey. So before I was a certified coach, he was one of them clients that was like, yes, I can be a test coach, client for you. Like, I'm willing to like let you practice these skills and all those things on me, and so he trusted me enough in that space to, start the journey with me. And so here we are years later, and he's still a devoted client who's doing amazing things. And I'm just really excited to witness his growth. And he's invited me over for, cocktails and, some other things. And so I'm excited to go to his house.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Pretty dope.
pretty dope. That's dope, dope. That is amazing. I absolutely love it. You changing people's life. You're creating a mark in this world, and that's more important than anything. Um, okay, so there aren't many black women positioned as goal coaches or life coaches. Why do you think that is?
So I think everything or a lot of things has to do with access, as well as exposure. So knowing, for one, that there's a resource out there to, for one, you can become a coach. You can be a coach now without being certified, right? So that's one thing, right? So there are a lot of coaches, right? But there are very few uh, coaches who are black women, who are black men, right? And I think a lot of that is because of access. So I was able to um, have an amazing opportunity to become a fellow. I had a fellowship, covered the cost of my coaching program. Um,
Mm,
and so this is where prayer comes in, because I have been praying for a way, because coaching, becoming a certified coach is very expensive. There are supervision hours you have to get, there are mentoring hours you have to get, there's educational hours, and all of this costs. There's nothing is, at no cost. And so it's a very expensive journey, particularly if you're choosing a coaching program or organization that's like top tier. And so I was blessed enough to go, I call it the Harvard of coaching, to Coactive. And it was an amazing opportunity, but I got a fellowship. Um, and so our fellowship was covered through another organization. And what we learned, going through the fellowship, for one, was that there was not a lot of coaches who was of color. So, people of color in that space. Um, and a lot of people didn't know that these programs were out there to help you become certified. And
mm,
so a lot has to do with, knowing that these resources are available, but also having the financial means to be able to cover the cost to be able to do so. Because again, you can be a coach without becoming certified, but I tell people coaching's like the wild wild west, right? And so you, just like you can go to, get, plastic surgery from anyone in the world. They may not be certified or, be a doctor or be able to be licensed.
mm,
That coaching is very much the same way. You can go to a coach for anything. If you want to learn how to ride horses, or, become a clown and go to clowns, you can find a coach who can show you how to do those things, right? And they don't have to be certified or have a credential. They just really can be passionate about it. For me, it was really important to have a coaching credential, uh, as a social worker, right? I don't want, for one, I want to make sure I'm not doing anything that's not aligned with my, the ethics with my profession as a social worker and with my social work license, but also making sure that as a coach, I am in line ethically and being able to provide services, um, with a strong foundation, of practice, and,
mm-hmm.
um, you know, going through the right program to learn whatever the coaching foundation is that those programs are offering. And so I think
Okay,
that's a long answer, but access is what it comes down to.
that's awesome. Um, what challenges have you faced as a black woman building authority in this space?
Um, that's a great question. So again, I think once you realize that there are opportunities, you then have to find the communities, where you see yourself in, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so one of the biggest challenges was first, right, finding these communities where, um, either there are other Black women doing coaching, or, there are just coaching communities that are in line with the way I see myself as a coach. The other challenge is definitely like a financial challenge. Like building a coaching business is not for the weak or for the broke. It is very expensive, to really build a successful coaching business. And I say very expensive, but expensive nonetheless, right? There are
Mm-hmm.
certain things that you want to have, right? People need to be able to find you. So you may need a website. You need a way to book clients and have, um, your fees processed, all those platforms and things that you need. But on top of that, you may need to pay for supervision and all those things. And And so coaching is just a very expensive profession to get started in, but also to maintain, because getting clients and having people really understand, like, oh, what do you do as a coach, right? How is that different from therapy? Do I even need a coach, right? And so you got to face all of these barriers to even get in front of a client who understands the value that you're bringing into the space, um, and to see that it's an asset to them to have you as a coach. So yeah.
Okay. I like that. That's right. And how has your faith or personal values played a role in your work and mission?
Yeah, so this whole journey is about faith, because right,
Mhm.
um, I typically do things that no one in my family has done like before, right? And so I don't ain't no coaches, in my family. There are no social workers, but for me, this has all been about, for one, doing it even though it's never been done before, right? Making a choice, a decision, like I can still do it, and that takes a lot of faith, and so I stand firm that what's for me is not going to miss me. That what God has for me is absolutely for me all the time, even when it don't look right. Even when it's not coming fast enough, it's always for me. And so I lead with that, right? I allow that to you know, dictate how I'm going to move. And when it comes to like those personal values and core values, there are just certain things that are non-negotiable for me, like who I want to serve, who I'm like here to serve,
Mhm.
right? The communities I'm called to be a part of and called to bring this work to. One thing I realize as a coach and a social worker, but particularly as a Black woman who's doing coaching, is that this is a service that is not necessarily accessible to everyone. And so my goal is to be accessible, right? To make sure that what I charge as a coach is accessible to the communities I want to serve. How I show up is authentic to the communities that I'm serving, right? I'm not any different with a client than I am, you know, as Rashidah. Like I show up with my full self. Like I'm not using coded language when I'm in, sessions and things like that, because typically coaches who I've come in contact with that are not, um who don't look like me, the coaching is different, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't feel as if we are speaking the same language. And I want to make sure that clients, when they're sitting with me, like, I see you, right? And that's really important. And so yeah, one of my values is to make sure that I'm staying rooted in who I am and who I serve, um, and to not waver on that.
Mhm. When you feel overwhelmed helping others, how do you pour back into yourself?
I stop. I take a break. Right. I think it's really important for me to know my bandwidth, and when I have no more to give. Right. And so I like to just I love music. I like to have a good playlist, self care playlist. Um, I love to Netflix and chill with myself, um, and hang out with my husband and my kids. Really just like regroup. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, and shut off my calendar. Like I'm good for not answering the phone. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being in do not disturb. And I'm okay with others putting me in that space too, right? Setting up that boundary. Because I can set it up 100% and be okay with having that up for when I need it. And so yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Just a couple more questions. How can we better support Black women leaders who are doing this kind of impactful work? Like, how can us as the community support you?
Yeah.
In men, I should say Black
Yeah.
women in men.
Yeah, book sessions. Like if for one, see if this is a service, that is of value to you. Typically I tell people you don't know that you need a coach until you see one that you can vibe with, like, oh yeah, like let's book a session, right? And this is like for individuals and organizations. There's value in bringing in someone who can, maybe say something to your team that you've been trying to convey, but they say it differently. They can get that
Mhm.
message across in a different way. Um, yeah, just show up, support, repost, like share the need. Um, and send folks over. A lot of times we refer people to our therapist. We be like, oh, go check out this dentist, but it's never like, oh, I got a really good coach that you should check out to help you with those goals. Oh, you trying to get this job, like, oh, go, you should go talk to a coach, right? Sometimes we just let people suffer because we don't, for one, because we don't know that there's a resource that can maybe help with that, right? You got someone that's looking for a job and every day they doing these job searches and they're not getting a job, and you like, I'm sorry, sis. I don't know. I don't know how to help you, right? And it might be like, oh, you might need like a career coach, right? The person may not need therapy because they stressed out. They might just need someone to help them get some things in order,
Yeah.
help them get a process, right? And so I think a lot of stuff is about awareness, right? Now that folks may know that this is a resource and an avenue to utilize it, to Google Black women, Black men coaches, and see who's out there. And if you can't find anyone, Google me, right? Well, go to my website, book a session, and I'll be happy to extend myself or share my network.
Down at the ticker. That's her info, guys. Yes, this is amazing conversation. Amazing conversation. Okay, so where do you see your movement or organization in the next 5 to 10 years?
I love that question. So my goal is to really continue to I'm in a space where I'm just about putting all of these skills that I have together, starting out in media, going into nonprofit, moving into the social work space. I'm also a scrum master, which is a really fancy way of saying like I like process order. I can keep things, teams on a timeline and really with structure, right? And so my goal is to really continue to put these skills together in such a way where I'm not working all the time, but these
Mm-hmm.
skills are working. So whether that's a program that is continually running that I've put together for an organization, or however that looks. I do have some other things coming up educational wise. I'm on some new journeys. So going back to school,
All
pursuing a
right.
PhD, and so yeah, I'm always, I don't want to say busy, right? But
You are. You are. But go ahead. Sorry.
um I'm busy, but in a very blessed way, right? I'm busy in a way that is serving me to get to the goals that I wanted to. Again, really, I started this out by saying like these are about choices, right? So I'm choosing things that I feel like are going to serve me in such a way that I feel like I'm whole and complete and doing, my very best and providing my very best to not only my family but those I serve. And so, yeah, I'm just gonna I'm still working on some things is what I'm saying, right?
Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay, that's show number part two.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's come back next year.
Absolutely. What advice would you give to other Black women who want to step into coaching, leadership, or activism?
Do it. Like,
Like
we
Nike, just do it, huh?
we Black women, we can do whatever it is that we choose, right? I will absolutely say there are not enough of us in the certified coaching space. I'm certain that there are plenty of us in the coaching space, and so respect to all the coaches. But I would love to see more certified coaches, just so we can be in the room, right? It's not to say that not having the credential makes you less of a coach, but having the credential provides you with access, right? Provides you
Mhm.
opportunity to be in rooms where they'd expect you to show up. Because baby, I pull up the front seats. Okay. And so I would love to see more of us in the spaces that they do not expect us to see us in. And
That's your activism, heart and
yeah,
spirit.
yeah. So my activism,
Love it.
everyone, you know, whatever your activism calling is, it may not be on the front line. It may be in, in the office building the strategy, right? And so my activism right now is absolutely about strategy and execution, building strong programs that elevate communities and individuals. And so coaching has allowed me to take up space in different rooms, different environments that I wouldn't have access to had I not have those letters.
Amazing. Last question, Queen. If someone is watching right now and feeling stuck, what's one thing you want them to remember?
My website, RashidaJones.com.
Yes, say it one more time. Ding, 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 ding. Hold on, hold on,
My
hold on. I
website.
got to.
Go there. That part. Go there.
That was dope. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So let me give you an applause.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. Now, what we're going to do is I know this is not a reel, it is your website, but this part of the show is called Real Talk. So, what we're going to do is let me get your, I'm going to have to do a short. You know, you got everything protected. You is not playing out here in these streets. I was like, I can't get nothing. I can't get nothing off her sites. Everything copyright protected. I said, "Oh, ain't nobody stealing from a girl. She know what to do." Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of just have you I'm trying to see. Is this the beginning? Let's see.
Where you trying to go to the home? Just click on who is, yeah. That should
Yeah,
take
right here.
you.
Okay. And you pretty much discussed this. This is actually your journey about you. And this is also like some of the things that you do. You coach, you you're a goal setting guru and you create magic. So are those some things that you want to discuss as far as like if someone wanted, so this right here is if someone wanted to come onto your site and see what their needs are, what would you like, what
So
are the steps?
if you're coming as an individual looking for a coach, right? If you click on I Coach People, it's gonna bring you to where you can book time with me. Um, if you scroll down.
Oh, okay, where say I coach people, got
Listen,
it.
I love that you have not changed with some of your technology
You
habits.
know what, don't we gonna do this now.
I love it. I love it. That was just so
Look,
nostalgic.
you all, you know, you was always the, I was the street person, you was the tech person, you know how I go.
I love
Okay,
it.
go ahead.
Yeah. Click on there.
I clicked it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're on here.
I don't.
Oh, I like this
It hasn't
outfit.
changed for me.
Hmm.
I don't see the screen. It hasn't
Oh,
changed. Yeah.
oh, okay. It didn't change on your end. Hold on. Do you see it now?
Mm-mm.
What?
Still see the same screen.
Why
But
is it not changing?
I don't know.
Hold on. That's weird. Okay, let me see what's going on. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. That's crazy. Oh, you know why? Because it's copyright protected. So I won't. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I'm like,
Nope. Okay, there we go.
okay, yeah. And so this really, I try to let people know who I am as a coach, what coaching is, what it isn't. And so this page, talks a little bit about that. If you scroll down,
Okay.
and really my goal is to give people a good understanding of like what we're gonna be doing, right? What it is and what it's not. Given that I am also a social worker, I want to have clear boundaries in coaching
Mm-hmm.
sessions. So if I'm a coaching session is not me being a LMSW, like it's not therapy, right? Um, And so just having some very clear boundaries, but also articulating that before folks get in a session so they understand, right? Um, if you're coming as a client who's maybe needs assistance like building a program,
Okay, we'll go back to that.
building a program, let's say like you're with an organization and there's an initiative that you're trying to launch and you might need assistance with that. I also do that. Right here is my whiteboard that I created, which is also right here.
Oh, that's nice.
So I am obsessed with goal setting. And so one of the things that I found just in my personal journey was, for one, that I love whiteboards, and two, that there's a process and a way to structure your goals so that they're achievable. There are other goal setting frameworks, right, that are historically known. I won't name them, but you can Google goal setting frameworks and the big
Hmm.
ones come out. Um, I don't necessarily agree with that or those, right? But one particular one that is widely known. And so for me, it was important for me to come up with my own framework. And so I created a goal setting framework that I use with clients, but I also have this companion tool, which is a whiteboard. Um, when I'm in session with clients, they have access to a digital version of this that we use to help them map goals. And it has been very successful with clients. I use it every day. So we have one. I have one upstairs in my office. There's one downstairs that the kids use. And so right now they've updated it with their summer plans, what they're doing for the summer. Um,
I might have to get one of these.
I
I
would
like
love
it.
for you to order a whiteboard.
Well, I got a whiteboard, but I would just I
Yes,
need another one. I need
go
another one.
forward.
So this might be a good one to get for
Yes,
my clothing, the online store. Okay, so
that's a
then
whole other
let's.
show because I would love to talk about how you're really supposed to set goals and break down these tasks. So yeah.
Okay, I know you will, and I'm so glad you haven't fussed at me yet, because I definitely needed to sit on your sofa and get some things
I've
together.
already started working on your next project. I'm actually halfway done. I'm just waiting for you to send me the stuff that you said.
Oh, and guys, I have to let y'all know she was the one that did my banner. So let me just tell my story
Oh,
real
we gonna
quick.
talk about it now?
We're gonna talk about it, then we're gonna get to the your third thing. Okay, guys, I gotta tell y'all this. So I just out of the blue, like I had a flyer that I made, and I don't really, she knows I'm not high tech, but I really work hard to do what I gotta do because I can't afford to just be paying for money to just have people doing it for me. So I learned, she reached out, sis. I think you already had it done though. I
I
think
did.
you
I sent you the finished flyer. It was like
you
here.
sent me. She
I was like,
said
I saw your flyer on Facebook. You need to switch it out. Update it with this one. I literally
that,
already had it done.
and listen, that's exactly how she said it. So I know she coached like that. She coaches her people like that, I'm pretty sure. So I was like, oh, this is dope. I love it. I had put a whole post about how awesome that was, because I was like, she seen something as a friend, as a sister, that I needed, that was an area of opportunity for me. And instead of her hating and just scrolling past and laughing at me, she actually embraced me and helped me and told me what I was doing wrong. And I wind up buying a banner the other 2 weeks ago, and creating a banner from her, her
I
beautiful
love it.
vision. So thank you
I
so
love it.
much. So yes, guys, she's good, and I'm definitely getting a whiteboard from her for sure.
I love
Okay,
it.
now let's go back to was we were on
So
credentials, right? No, career.
well, we weren't, but these are my coaching credentials. So these are
Okay.
what I was speaking about. So PCC is the
Hmm.
ICC ICF credential. It's like
Okay.
the second level of coaching. There's one more MCC, so that's the one I'm going for next, which is the MCC level. Um, yeah, but these are my coaching credentials as well as my Scrum credential. I have this page on here so folks know, right?
Yes,
This
yes,
is
you
what it
as you
is. I
should.
worked hard for these. We're gonna flex on it. We're gonna show up.
Let's
Um,
see. What about what my clients say?
Oh yeah, so these are some client testimonials.
Oh,
My clients are very kind, and they are all different types of people, from students to
oh, that's
attorneys
awesome.
to dads to um, just all
Oh,
types of
she's
people.
an attorney. You go, girl. That's amazing.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome. I love this. Okay, and then
one thing while you're doing that, so I built the website myself. And this is where
I should have known you
yeah,
built
and
this
I'm
yourself.
highlighting that because I think it's
That's
important for
amazing.
people to, again, choose to learn how to do some things yourself, right? That
Oh,
way,
trust me. Yes.
and I'm very proud of you because I trust me, I remember a time. Okay,
Yes.
was a time. And so I pride myself in being a non-tech techie, right?
Uh-huh.
I say I'm a married in techie. My husband's super techie, and so I married a techie, and so I've learned a lot of skills by watching him do a lot of tech stuff. But also just by
This
jumping
is
in
beautiful.
and trying it for myself. For one, because I may not have had the budget to pay someone. This is where I was saying, hey, this is a expensive journey, right? Having the resources. But for two, because I could, right? I
Right.
practice. It may not have always come out the way I wanted it to look, but the more I practice, the more I got better at, using these tools and figuring stuff out. And so that has allowed me to also create another stream of opportunity. So when I have clients who maybe are not techie, I can show them some quick things to become a little bit more techie, right? Because it's not about me doing it. It's about me empowering you to feel like I can do this myself. I have
Yes.
the skills and the resources. And if I don't have the skills and the resources, at least I have the support, right? I can go into a session. We can learn how to do chat GPT. I can teach you how to use Canva. I host workshops on Canva, how to use Canva,
Mm.
you know, with clients all the time, and those have been extremely fun because we get in session and we share screens, and I show you step by step. Okay, you want to make a flyer? Let me show you how to do it, right? And then you do it so that you like it, right? Not you like my flyer, but you like the thing that you just created, and you are confident with the thing that you just created. And so it's been a lot of fun.
And
Um,
let me ask you a question. So, do you include, like in your packages, do you include something where um if you wanted to help a person to create a website as well?
Yep. And so there's a difference for me between coaching and consulting. So depending on what you're looking at, right? Um,
Okay.
or so if you go to services and workshops, this is
Which
the
one? Seek services and workshops and
perfect.
go
So if you go to
coaching.
pick your services,
There we
pick your
go.
services.
Okay.
Yep. And if you scroll down, so two things I do: I allow clients to pick their price.
Mm.
So this is where I want to make it accessible. And so I try to provide a range that you can choose from. What I love about that is I've never had a client choose the lowest range. I'm always fascinated, particularly when I know it's like a student or someone, they might just pick $5 up from the lowest, but it's never like the lowest. And that for me is value. Like, oh, they like, no, you worth more than what you got, right? The
Mm-hmm.
lowest range that you have on here. Um, I always offer a free first session. That's just really for us to
Okay.
get to know each other, right?
Yeah, let's go through these real fast. Okay, so this is the free
Mhm.
session.
Yep.
Okay.
So discovery session is exactly what it sounds like. It's an opportunity for us to discover if this is going to be a good fit, right? So it's not a one-way street where I'm just driving in, you like, oh, I'm going to get in, and you can't get out, right? And so it's really about, are we mutually a good fit? Like, do you like me and do I like you, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
if one is off, it's not going to work. And so that may be me saying like, hey, I think I might need to find you another coach that's a better fit,
Mm-hmm.
or it might be like me getting an email like, "Hey, I don't think this is gonna work out," and I'm okay with it either way, right? Uh,
Yeah.
and so it always starts with a discovery session, and then once we decide on whether we're moving forward with coaching, clients either book a package or they pick per session, right? They ad hoc it, and that's completely up to what the client feels like their need is. So some clients like, oh, I only need one or two sessions, and I don't need a full package, right? Where I'm the 6 sessions, right? I might need just one or two sessions that I book when I need them. And then other clients
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, I need a consistency where we are meeting twice a week on Wednesdays at 7:30, right? For the next 6 months, right? And so depending on what the need is what a client will book for. And so that's what the pick your pay is. And then there are packages. So if you to answer your question, the creative consultation
Yeah, let's get to that.
is where if you want something that's more like skill driven, like you need something created, you need a resume updated, you're working on an EPK, right?
EPK.
Right? You
Okay.
need an
That's
EPK, right? And so a part of your session, right, may be coaching, but a part of it may also be some creative work where I may provide some creative content for you, right? Creating something for you, or I may be reviewing something that you created, maybe giving you some feedback, providing some tips on for you to improve it, which may be coaching, right? And so I provide a mix. It really just depends on what clients are looking for. I've had clients come for both, right?
mm-hmm.
Where it's a mix of I need coaching on career development and I need a new resume, right?
Okay.
And so you're gonna have coaching, but you also gonna have me creating a resume for you, perhaps, where that's a different cost, right? And
Okay.
so all of that may be built into a package.
Okay. It's very organized how you got it structured and
Oh,
very
thank you.
detailed. I've seen several, and like websites that do like consultation, coaching, different things like that, and it's so hard to follow. And then you're like, well, what is it that you like? Is like how you got it? You got the pick, you got the well, this is exactly what this is. This is the event programs. This is exactly what it is. I love this. This is amazing. So, guys, y'all better pick up what she putting down. And honestly, I just want to say this: it's really time for us, especially as a Black community, Black women, Black men, young Black women, to really buckle down and focus. And like more so than ever before. We're so used to just being like, oh, I can do it myself. I'll try to do it myself. And then we sometimes as a community, we invest in the wrong things. We might buy some Jordans or a Balenciaga sweatshirt, but not have our priorities in order. It's time to get those priorities in order, especially young kings, young princes and prince who's coming out of college, who's getting ready to be kings and queens. Let's do this. It's time to build. Like who's going to be the next generation? I'm Gen X. Who's going to be the next generation and two more generations to really be leaders in our community? So I really feel like these coaches, life skill focus coaches is very, very important into our community, just as much as a therapist, so you got me sold, girlfriend. I'm gonna probably have to set up something. You already know.
You've
But
been my
let's
client from day one. Before I was a coach, I was coaching you. When we
that is
started
so true.
on Microsoft Word,
I'm look, I've been her muse.
day one, okay? When there were
Cause
two-way pagers.
listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. When she came to me, I was just a young girl from the streets. Not even young, but but
You
I
were
was from
young. I was 18, so you were young.
yeah, I was young.
And I'm
I
in my
was
40s now, so.
in the from the streets, just had a dream, and we grinded it out. And she was just an intelligent young woman that was in college that had some street smarts about her too. And I just really, she really helped me with life skills way early. That's
You
probably
helped
why
me
I'm
with
able to
life skills. Listen, you let me sit
listen.
on the couch. You introduced me to vegetarian foods. Like, there's
Oh,
so much.
you
The
know
Magic
what?
Man, like, there's so much.
Man, listen. I'm gonna say this. We were promoting artists that is now out double platinum, triple platinum, living their best life, and they weren't even known yet.
Some are
We
retired. That's
some of them
how,
probably
like for
so
real. And
we
we ain't gonna
helped
name drop, but
careers.
it was
We
like
not
for real,
gonna
for real.
we're
We
not
not
gonna name
gonna
drop, but
name,
trust
they
and believe.
big.
Female street team out
Yeah,
there doing big things.
yeah.
Thank you so much for this. I enjoyed this interview, guys. This was amazing, and I definitely put a stamp on this young lady any
I love
day.
you so much.
She love you too. She is definitely the truth, and like I said, it is time for us to buckle up as a community for real. And she was just telling you, it's not really many black women focus. What is it? Is it men though, or is it
So
just the lack of
I would
women?
say black men and women, right? Just in
Okay,
general,
just in general.
there
So
we need to see more black
yeah,
women in the coaching space and the
and
certified coaching
she
space.
created a lane of her own, and she's been in the hip hop game. She has been in the hip hop circles, I should say, in different industries like that. So her being able to bring this to the forefront the way she has, and built this whole lane is amazing. You have any last minute things that you would like to say?
I'm just really grateful that I'm on your platform. I'm very proud of
Thank you.
you.
I appreciate
Um,
it.
this is not easy work. I ain't rich, I'm grateful, I'm a homeowner, I own, some, got my cars are paid off and things like that. And I'm
Amazing.
still, working very, very hard to be a first time dot, right? And so for me, all of these initiatives and goals are super important because it's a reminder of what is possible when you make a choice. Like every day I'm waking up and choosing me, period. Like
That's right.
for real, because you got to bet on yourself first. And so um, I always appreciate, you, Nessa, for seeing me, because you could have like, no, girl, you can't sleep on this couch. No, I'm not coming to pick you up. No, I'm not taking you back home. Like all the things. Right? But for all of those little deposits allowed me to build a strong foundation that gave me the confidence, right? To make the right choices for me, right? So whether it was, deciding on what the next thing I was going to do in school or what the next role I was going to take, it really all goes back to that one day finding that flyer at G&G on the counter, because that's where you left it. And
That's why you sent that pic.
yeah, you left this. Which pick? I don't know which pick, but
Wait,
you left.
I thought you sent me a pic, and you was like, "This is where it started," or
Oh no,
remember.
Chickalos. That's where you used to take me to eat all the time. Remember, you used to love
Oh,
Chickalos. You used
you
to
know what? I didn't
love.
know. I forgot the name of the spot.
Oh yeah, Chickalos. You used to love Chickalos. And now, my house is very close, and so every time I'm in I drive through the street. I'm like, damn, this is really legit. It
That
all
is
started for me in this
that's
area.
deep. That's
And
deep.
so
I
it
love
is
it.
like the energy over here, for me is like very special because, yeah, I know, the path and the journey that it took to end up here. Like I started there.
Yes,
So yeah, I'm always
and
grateful. So I would tell people to bet on you every day, even when it's hard, even when the math ain't mathing and you trying to figure out and you gotta, other people is waiting for you and betting on you too, right? Still show up for yourself with all that you got, even when there's nothing left, right? Make one choice every day that's intentionally about you, furthering a goal that you have. Because when you win, everyone else who depends on you win, right?
I like that.
So yeah.
You got bars.
Oh, well, I'm amongst the MC, fresh ass. I know y'all know. I got your stuff over here to draw. I got the album cover, the pictures.
I love you so much. Thank you so much, and make sure you give the babies a kiss.
I will.
Tell bro I said
We need
hi.
new
Can't
t-shirts.
I definitely need to oh, I got you.
I
But I
can wear
definitely need to come to the
shirt
ATL.
every week.
I appreciate you. Trust me, I got you. I got my printers together. I just got to get one bigger one for my sweatshirts. That's the problem. But I got you. I got you. Thank you so much once again.
Love
So
you.
guys, love y'all and mean it out there. Thank you so much for watching this show, Lights Camera Action. Pick up what she's putting down. This was a breath of fresh air. It was definitely needed. And until then, y'all have a good one, okay? Thank you, Boo.
Love you.
I love you.
Every morning when I wake up, my path is clear. Abundance flows to me, banishing all fear. I breathe in success, I breathe out joy and bliss. The universe provides me everything I deserve. This I receive with open hands. I am safe and sound. My life is full with blessings all around. I am made of gold and my future is bright. Everything I touch turns to good and to light. Love, happiness and wealth are rushing to me. I am a magnet, completely happy and free. My heart is open, my hands are ready for the richness that makes my life steady.
Faith, purpose, courage. 3 powerful reminders for everyday life. I'm Maria Howell, inviting you to shop themessageofhope.online.